Hey everyone, welcome back to the Maverick channel and follow the money. I think I found where the money is flowing.
We are anonymous. We are legion. Expect us.
So today I set out to do a video. I went out and looked for news that I think would be quite interesting for the listeners of this channel. You know, you want to see the trends in the cryptocurrency space, what is happening, what is going on. If you want to invest, where can I put my money? Where are the institutions putting their money? So I went and picked a couple of projects at random because I found what they were doing or who they were partnering with quite interesting. So the first article I looked at was Uniswap voted to support Arbitrum Layer 2. Will this help Ethereum gas fees? And then the other I looked at was Injective Protocol. And then CUDOS. You know, I've done a video about CUDOS. So as I'm doing research, so let's start off with Arbitrum. So as I'm doing research about this article of Arbitrum, I find this article, Ethereum Scalar Arbitrum is launching Friday with developer support from ALCHEMY. So, you know, I'm like, okay, I need to look into ALCHEMY because it seems this is a company that's going to be supporting this Arbitrum infrastructure. So I go to Arbitrum, like, okay, they're solving scaling without compromise. Next generation layer 2 for Ethereum decentralized applications, just like the way you see Matic, and which is now called Polygon. Use your favorite tools and scale your dApps at the lowest cost. So I go to the ALCHEMY website and I go to case studies. I go to all case studies and I find that these ALCHEMY people have actually dealt with Binance, they've dealt with BZX, I actually don't know what that is, but they've also worked with Augur, Kyber Network, Fortmatic, which is another Web3 wallet, an alternative to MetaMask. They worked with Unchained, CryptoKitties, they worked with OpenSea, you know, you can buy, this is the largest NFT platform out there, Dolomite, 0x. So this was interesting, they've worked with all these companies. And then when you come here to products, you find these are product suites. So they Supernode, Build, Monitor, Notify, Enhanced APIs, Amplify, NFTs. Arbitrum is right here. So this is the most recent technology they're backing, these ALCHEMY people. And then there's Crypto.com. You all know Crypto.com. It's one of the biggest exchanges within the United States. And then Flow. Now, this is where it got me. This video wasn't supposed to be about FETCH.AI or whatever, but you remember there's a video I did about FETCH.AI, which was the T-Systems, you know, T-Systems and Validation Capital. These are companies that are invested within the FETCH.AI ecosystem, and they recently partnered with the Flow blockchain. So I found that really interesting that this company that's dealing with a whole different other product that has worked with all these companies has such a massive product suite, which is the Flow blockchain, and which is also partnered with these two companies that are working heavily with the FETCH.AI ecosystem. So I found that really interesting. When you come to a website called offchainlabs.com, offchainlabs.com is the company behind Arbitrum. These are the people that make this Arbitrum technology. And you know, when you scroll down to their website, you see their team. And then what's interesting, you see their partners. Coinbase. This is a massive institute. There's Pantera, Compound, Block Nation. And our interest here is Pantera, as we shall see in the future. Because we shall see Pantera, I think this is Pantera Capital. We shall see that they've partnered with another ecosystem that we're going to look at later. So let us go through this article really quickly to see the significance. So Uniswap voted to support Arbitrum Layer 2. Will this help Ethereum gas fees? This drastically lowers the amount of computation required to complete transactions with scalable benefits of between 10 to 100x. The cost of swapping tokens on Uniswap version 3 looks set to fall as its community votes in favor of deploying a Layer 2 solution via Arbitrum. Arbitrum is an Ethereum scaling solution which employs optimistic rollups, presuming that transactions are correct by default and only intervening when users submit a fraud proof to contest them. Now, of course, when you come to the documents page of the Offchain Labs, which is the company behind Arbitrum, you can find more information about what is Arbitrum, what is inside it, why use the Arbitrum ecosystem, and this very complex diagram that we can see here. And then some fundamental questions here. Who keeps track of the inbox? How does Arbitrum make sure that the chain stake and outputs are correct? And, you know, very important questions that you might have, especially if you're a developer. And then you find out what are rollups and why they have to be optimistic. So this is a very useful document if you want to dig deep into the crust of what this means and what the technology does. So that's the partnership with Uniswap and Arbitrum. And I think it's quite significant So if you're out there and you're someone that's very interested in the Uniswap ecosystem, maybe you're holding Uni tokens, I think this is quite bullish and it's something you might want to look into. So the implementation of Arbitrarium comes after a governance proposal was submitted on May 26th by a user Andy8052. In their proposal, the user noted that not deploying to new and growing networks like Arbitrum and Matic, which is Polygon, just allows for other exchanges to come in and fill that spot. This could potentially eat into fees earned by governance in the future. And lastly here, the community agreed with that sentiment in the most emphatic fashion, with 43.23 million Uni holders voting for Arbitrum integration as opposed to only 309.34 voting against it. And then concluding thoughts. By moving Uniswap to a layer 2 solution, the end user experience should improve markedly for considerable time now. Gas fees on Ethereum have made all but high value exchanges counterproductive. With Uniswap adopting Arbitrum, Uniswap users should see a welcome fall in gas fees. So something else that's interesting, that Off-Chain Labs, which is behind Arbitrum, they published an article here which says EtherScan is coming to Arbitrum. So you all know EtherScan. That's basically the main website, the main medium you go to type in your Ethereum address to find out all details about your 720 tokens, your ERC20 tokens, and all other details about your Ethereum transaction history and ongoing transactions. So these guys are partnering with Arbitrum. So I think, Arbitrum is a big deal. You all know about OKX to support direct deposits and withdrawals onto Ethereum scaling solution Arbitrum. So I'm bringing to you this news because I think it's pretty big. Whether you're interested in Uniswap or Ethereum or not, I think it's very important to see these connections and all these partnerships that are happening to help, internalize and conceptualize where this so-called money is flowing. So let's look at Injective Protocol, INJ, and we see how it correlates to the previous product that we've just talked about, which is Arbitrum. Injective mainnet nears a centralized crypto derivatives face regulation. So INJ is gearing up for decentralized leverage trading just as regulation cracks down. Injective Protocol, the layer 2 DEX, which unlocks the full potential of decentralized derivatives and borderless DeFi, is gearing up for its mainnet launch. So I think there's been a crackdown by governments on centralized exchanges trading derivatives. So derivatives are like commodities, stock, assets, bonds, things like that normally traded on traditional centralized systems. So this comes just as regulators around the world focus greater attention on centralized derivatives trading following the release of Injective's Solstice testnet, which allowed traders to use the protocol for the first time. Daily trading volume on the platform has frequently exceeded $500 million a day. During the test period, the protocol has been developed and expanded upon with additional markets such as synthetics gold, Tesla stock futures, GameStop stock futures, Forex futures, and yield farming derivatives. Hey guys, as a side note, that's why you need to pay attention to products like Metalex, which are, doing the whole decentralized commodities exchange, moving all that capital, trillions of dollars onto a decentralized platform and making it accessible, making the whole commodities trading accessible to everyone in the world at any one time with ample liquidity. So very bullish. That's as a side note. So regulation by Bybit. So this article goes on to talk about regulation and how, different countries have been biting down on centralized exchanges that are mostly focusing on derivatives trading. So I guess this threatens the system somehow. So Injective Protocol, which has been dubbed the Robin Hood of DeFi, is now in an excellent position to capitalize following a successful party funding round, which raised $10 million. Some of the names which invested in the protocol includes Pantera Capital. Now, you remember we saw Pantera Capital right over here as one of the investors in Off-Chain Labs, which is invested in Arbitrum. So that's another connection that you see right there. Then there's other investors like Block Tower, Hashed, Cadenza Ventures, backed by 100X Group, CMS, and QCP Capital. Another company which is heavily backing Injective Protocol is Binance. And guess what? These people are also working with Binance. The ALCHEMY people, they've worked with Binance, they continue to work with Binance as well. So we can see here Binance has been involved with Injective since 2018, incubating the project in Binance Labs. Can you imagine? 2018. Wow. So Injective later launched on Binance Launchpad, further solidifying the strong relationship between the centralized and decentralized exchanges. Conclusion. As regulators around the world focus greater attention on centralized exchanges and especially derivatives trading, the launch of Injective Protocol's mainnet is fortuitous for traders and exchange alike. While governing bodies may be able to regulate centralized exchanges, their decentralized competitors are increasingly ready to take up the slack. So guys, I think you have to pay attention to some of these things. You're seeing layer 2 solutions like Arbitrum Injective Protocol being talked about in such high esteem. So you need to follow. This is how we see where the money is flowing. This is how we see where the attention is going. And then there's also this. You know that Binance is on the Cosmos network. So Cosmos has also tied it into this mix. And the Injective Protocol is also built on the Cosmos network. So we have these platforms that seemingly are disconnected or maybe just part of Ethereum, or that are seemingly part of separate ecosystems. We see that they're all interlocked in one way or another. As you can see, for example, Injective Protocol is also here, just like Binance Smart Chain. And we also know FETCH.AI is also built on the Cosmos ecosystem. So that's also locked in here. They're all interconnected in some way. And one day we'll wake up and the blockchains of these different companies will be able to interact with each other. You know, the Cosmos system has these things called zones and hubs. So the zones represent various blockchains, and those blockchains connect to a central hub within which they can then interact with each other and transact and communicate amongst one another. I've done a video about Cosmos. You should check it out for more information about that. Now, lastly, CUDOS. CUDOS shocked me the most because I didn't expect to see any partnerships or correlation between CUDOS and any of the other products that we've talked about. We want to look at this article briefly. We're not going to read the whole thing, just to skim through to see where all the strings interlocked within each other. So we have this company, Animoca Brands, invests in CUDOS. So let us skip all this and we try to find out what this is. So briefly, CUDOS network is a layer 1 blockchain and layer 2 computation and oracle network that ensures decentralized permissionless access to high performance computing at scale and enables scaling of computing resources to 100,000 nodes once bridged into Ethereum, Algorand, Polkadot, Cosmos. Guys, I didn't even see this. So there's this there's this connection already within these blockchains. I hadn't read this. Ethereum, Algorand, Polkadot, and Cosmos, we can see there's this interlocked relationship that CUDOS is creating or that is harnessing from these blockchains. So CUDOS will enable scalable computing and layer 2 oracles on all of the bridged blockchains. CUDOS is also running a second round for its CUDOS token on AscendX. So now, what is Animoca Brands then? What is this all about? Animoca Brands, ranked in the Financial Times list of Asia Pacific high growth companies of 2021, is a leader in digital entertainment, blockchain, gamification, and artificial intelligence. CUDOS is all about artificial intelligence. FETCH.AI is all about artificial intelligence. Animoca Brands has developed and published a broad portfolio of products including Rev and Sand. You know, Sandbox, it's a very popular, virtual world real estate type of thing. And also Rev is also in that part. These are games that are decentralized. So these tokens, original games including Sandbox, exactly, Crazy Kings and Crazy Defense Heroes, and products utilizing popular intellectual properties including Formula 1, Marvel, WWE, Power Rangers, MotoGP, and Doraemon. So its portfolio of blockchain investments and partnerships include Sky Mavis, Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity is they're also developing virtual products. Dapper Labs. Now, this is where everything mixes up. We've already read about CUDOS. It's already partnered with these blockchains. And then we can see Dapper Labs here. Now, as you can remember, Dapper Labs is also it's also part of T-Systems and Validation Capital, which are partnered with the Flow blockchain. As you can see here, Flow blockchain developed by Dapper Labs. CryptoKitties, an NBA Top Shot, T-Systems flagship development on Flow will be an execution node with Validation Capital participating in this partnership as a strategic advisor. So you can see all these companies, all these products that I randomly selected because I found their news quite interesting. I found that they're all interlinked. And not only are they interlinked, they're also interlinked with other projects that I hadn't intended to talk about, like Polkadot, like FETCH.AI, like Algorand. So I think from such videos and seeing all these patterns, you can also know where, or you can have a rough idea of where the money is flowing. So if you're looking to invest in the future, you can know, okay, there's a lot of attention on Ethereum. We all know that. Despite it having scalability issues, we're seeing all these companies trying to develop layer 2 scalability solutions on the Ethereum network. And Algorand, you're like, I've heard a lot of people talk about Algorand, but is it legit? Is it not? I guess it is, because we can see all the powers that oversee us seem to be interested in Algorand. Then there's Polkadot, you've all heard of Polkadot, and of course Cosmos, the behemoth of Cosmos. So guys, I was extremely excited to produce this video today, because I just set out to talk about just random products that I thought were having very interesting partnerships and developments. And there it was. They were all connected in one way or another. Guys, have a nice Sunday. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.